some time. And as you take a look at shares of Tesla, you see they're under a little bit of pressure, not extreme pressure, but a little bit of pressure after the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration announced that it will be opening a formal investigation looking into Tesla's Autopilot technology. What will NHTSA be looking at? Well, specifically, it will be looking at 11 crashes where Tesla vehicles were in autopilot mode and they crashed into emergency vehicles. Those crashes led to 17 injuries, 1 fatality. This will involve the models S, X, Y, and 3, 765,000 vehicles, basically everything Tesla has made from 2014 through 2021. Altogether, NHTSA has reports of 31 incidents involving autopilot technology. That includes these 11, and there have been others as well. But for this investigation, it'll only be focused on the 11 crashes. By the way, those go back to 2018, those crashes. As you once again take a look at Tesla over the last 5 years, as this stock has moved higher, Elon Musk has repeatedly defended autopilot, even as critics have said, look, there are not enough safeguards in here. It's camera-based only. It doesn't use LiDAR technology. It allows drivers to think that the car is completely self-driving when it's not. Elon Musk has at times said, yes, it's not completely self-driving. At the same time, he has also sold the perception, if you will, that autopilot is essentially the way for you to get in your car and your car is going to take you from point A to point B. Though, again, when pressed on analyst calls and at other times, Jim, he has said, sure, it's not 100% self-driving. So we'll see what happens here with the NHTSA investigation. Just a reminder, Jim, the way this works, NHTSA investigates. If they find there's a flaw with the technology, they go to an automaker and they say, you should recall this technology or come up with a solution. If the automaker says, no, we're not going to do that, then NHTSA goes to court to force a recall. But we're a long ways from that happening. We still need to see exactly what happens with this formal investigation.
So that is the first stock that I'm buying today, Tesla. We're putting about $640 into Tesla stock. I think that's a good buy because this is a big drop in Tesla stock price just because of something temporary. Okay, I believe that this probe that the US government is having on Tesla self-driving car is going to be temporary. I don't think it's going to be anything significant. So for long-term Tesla investors anyways. So for me, this presents a good buying opportunity to be able to jump in and buy a little bit more on the cheap. Hello everyone, my name is Kaseem. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about my dividend and growth investing portfolio. So what we're going to do today is we are going to buy the dip, okay? Like that's what I usually do with my portfolio. I buy the dip whenever the market goes down significantly, all right? So today is another opportunity that we can buy the dip because the market has dropped pretty significantly. Let me share with you guys, this is what we are looking like on the portfolio today. So we are going to buy the dip in today's video. So first and first, before we get into the video, I always say in all my videos, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not telling you to invest in things that I'm investing in. All I'm saying is that I share with you what I'm doing with my money. And if you decide to do it, that is up to you. Don't sue me. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we are gonna get into today's video, and what we're gonna look at really quickly is we are going to look at our dividend and growth investing portfolio here. So as you guys can see, we have about 1,500 new money ready to be deployed into the market. Okay, for the past week, the portfolio has been down about almost 2%. Today took a big hit, about $800 today. Mainly all that is coming from the passive income section, which is the Tesla side of the portfolio here. And Tesla got hit today because we have some news on Tesla that basically says that the US government is probing into their vehicle. For me as a Tesla investor, I say, okay, that's fine. That is great. This is good that that they're going to look into this once and for all, get it out of the way. Okay. We need to get the myth of the car is not safe. We need to get it out of the way. So when the US government probe it, they'll do what they need to do. And eventually they would see that this is a viable technology. This is something that works. And when it comes from the US government, most likely this Tesla stock that we're looking at right here is probably going to skyrocket back to even higher highs. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to buy the dip. So we're going to buy this, and usually what I'm trying to do is on the days where we have a pretty significant fall, you know, I always like to go in and buy a little bit more. So you see about in 1 week here, we are down about $576. And then in 1 day, we're down about $600. So what I would do is I would probably go with the highest one. That would be the first thing that I would do in today's video. So let's do it. Let's buy it right now. So what we have is I will say roughly $640 that we're gonna do, that we're gonna drop right into Tesla. 640. We're gonna buy more of it. 640. We're gonna drop that into Tesla right now. Buy. Done. So by 3 o'clock, we're gonna be buying $600 worth of Tesla. That should increase my position. To be honest, something like this it's really a temporary thing. If I pop into the chart here and show you guys some few things, okay. Let me look at Tesla stock. Okay, TSLA. So this is where we are at right now, and this is a 4-hour chart. Okay, this is looking at Tesla on a 4-hour basis. So obviously we couldn't pass the top, and we see this huge dip. Now I already have my alerts here. As you guys see here, I have my alerts. If it drops below 646, I'm gonna buy it. But I mean, this big candle here, it's a juicy one that I will have to buy into the stock as a long-term investor. Now if it drops below, I will move this down a little bit. So if it drops below this 3 areas right here, it would be good to buy some more at that point. So that is exactly what I'm doing with today's with today's video. So that is the first stock that I'm buying today, Tesla. We're putting about $640 into Tesla stock. I think that's a good buy, because this is a big drop in Tesla stock price just because of something temporary. Okay, I believe that this probe that the US government is having on Tesla self-driving car is going to be temporary. I don't think it's going to be anything significant. So for long-term Tesla investors anyways. So for me, this presents a good buying opportunity to be able to jump in and buy a little bit more on the cheap. So the next stock that we're going to buy today is we are going to buy Jumia. Okay, I've been eyeing Jumia for a long time. I've been eyeing the stock for a while. I've been trying to get into the stock, but I haven't had the opportunity to get into it. So Jumia has dropped down to the point where I cannot ignore it anymore. If you don't know about Jumia, Jumia is basically the Amazon of Africa, and they are a company based out of Germany. They're actually a German company. And you know, look at this price right here. Dropped down to, this was where the price was in May. So it dropped down to where the price used to be in May. So right here, it's a pretty significant drop. So let's see, let's look at a 4-hour chart here. As you guys see, I have my alert here for 581. That would be my next buy. That would be my next block buy for this company. Not too long ago, it went from $8 all the way to 60, and now it's dropping back. You know, this company is still relatively new to the stock market, and for long-term investors, I think Africa eventually is going to get its own Amazon. You know, it might take a little bit of time, but Africa is going to get its own Amazon, and Jumia is basically laying down the groundworks to be Africa's Amazon. So this is a price point where I cannot ignore. So I'm going to go in and jump into the jump into my M1 portfolio here, because guys, remember, this portfolio is dividend and growth. Okay, I try to look out for companies that are growing very fast and be able to jump in and buy those companies at a cheap price. Okay, so that's the thing that I'm trying to do. So Jumia is already in my consumer pie. I just loaded it here. It's right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump in and buy a couple of shares. So what I would do now with Jumia stock is I'm going to buy roughly about maybe $300 worth just for as an entry point. And I will keep an eye on it. If it dips to this area right here, which is the critical area that I'm looking at it from, if it dips to about right here, I'll probably go in a little bit more heavy, maybe buy $1,000 worth at that point. But I'm just gonna, start a small buy at this price. Okay, it's currently at 18.24. So I'm gonna go in and buy a tiny little bit at this price point here. I think it should be good in the long term. So I think, you know what, I'll change my mind. I'll put about $350 in there. Okay, so that is in there, roughly about $300. Today, let's see what Consumer Pie is doing today. So what I'm gonna do now is, for the rest of the money that is left on the account, so what I decided to do is I click on one week here. If you look at 1 month, we're up for the month. But if you look at a week, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put some money into ARK, because we're down here roughly about $200, and put some money into cryptocurrency, and basically all the ones that are red, just run through it and put some money in there. So that is the last buy for today. As you guys see, you just saw a quick rundown of what I do. This is what I like to do on the markets when my portfolio gets a major, like I said earlier, a major dip, whether within any of this time period. That's why I love M1. It just makes it easier for you to be able to just look at what's going on with your portfolio one glance, and you can tell, okay, this is the portfolio is down by this much, the portfolio is down by this much within this time period. It's very easy for you to look at and navigate. And for the most part, we're down the most because of this probe into Tesla. Let's take a quick look at that really quickly here. See, we're down at because of Tesla. Now, before we get into Tesla, let me just make a quick mention. I did not add any new money to Space, just because I believe Space still have, this is Space stock here, Space still have, this is Space on the 4-hour time period, 4 hours, okay? So you see here, we saw a nice run up, and then we got the news around this area, around the top here, that Richard Branson sold some stock. So by him selling some stock, people are like, whoa, if you're the founder and you're selling your stock, why is it that you're selling your stock? Don't you believe in your company anymore? But the thing is, like, these people, they spend so much money getting the company going. So I don't blame them for selling a little bit of the stock, just to, recoup some of the money that they've invested, because, the company has gone up a lot. It's hit this previous times and it fell. When it hit it again, it fell. So what I will be doing is I'll be watching for the bottom of this, and I would buy in once we see something like this start going on again. I'll probably buy in. But in that situation, I would now see if I can trade it. If it gets this run up, I will sell it and wait for it to pull back again and do that. That would be my first trade when it comes to this long-term dividend investing portfolio. So usually with this account, I don't really look to trade it. But if the opportunity show up and it's showing a resistance at this price point again, at this top right here, if it's showing that resistance again, then I'll probably sell out of it, and wait for the pullback and probably buy back in. But I'm not gonna sell all my position. If Space drops to like $5, to this area, $14, or even we've seen it drop way more than that before. If I go back enough, around this point, when they first went public, around this point, it was around like $10. So if we see something like that again, then I'll be putting in a lot more money, and look to ride the wave back up on Space. But I think maybe $14 would be the floor. So if it drops to that point, I already have my alert set here for me to be able to jump in and buy a little bit more of the stock. So that is that. So that is the reason why I'm not actually purchasing any space stock in this period. Although usually I would normally buy some, but not right now, not at this price point. Well, anyway, so that is that with space. What we're gonna do is let's take a look at Tesla really quickly. So what we're having issue is like the US government agency for highway and everything like that. They said they were gonna investigate Tesla for the autopilot system. You know, I think that's a good thing. You know, if they go in and investigate, they will find that there is nothing wrong with these things, and eventually they will realize that, okay, this is something that we have to let move on. Anyways, governments love to be the country where innovation is happening. So I don't believe that this is going to kill Tesla stock. This is just something temporary. So, you know, I don't think this whole thing would be a thing that will kill the stock at all. So that is that with the Tesla stock over here. So overall, I think the $1,500 investment has been well spent. Let me show you guys really quickly where those money are going to. I have about 20 buys, so that 1,500 is going to get spread amongst 20 different companies. Most of them will go into, you know, Tesla for the most part. A decent amount will go into ARK Invest. Then $10 into global growth, almost $80 into the monthly income section, 180 into the crypto. So you see, pretty much well spread around. And these are some of the companies that the money is going to go into. Mainly the growth part in today's video, but I'm really focusing on, you know, putting more money into the dividend side of this as well. So it's two different parts to this portfolio. There's two different parts. There's the dividend side and then there's the growth side. Okay. So today, most of the money will, you know, like I said, is going into the growth pie. Not much of dividend purchase today, apart from you know, the monthly income. This one is pretty much only dividend. Yeah, so that is pretty much it for today's video. 1,500 going to work in the right places at the right time for my portfolio. Even from the last time that I just showed the video, you see that it's recovered a bit. But the 1,500, I think it will be going to work in the right places. And this is how I like to manage my portfolio. So if you like what I do, if you like what you've seen so far, please subscribe to the channel. I'm a relatively new YouTuber and I'm trying to build my own community here. I can learn a thing or two from you, and you can learn a thing or two from me as well. And the whole point of this portfolio is to get this portfolio up to the first $1 million. Show you guys how I get my net worth, not network. How I get my net worth up to the first $1 million. So that is the whole point of the channel. I share with you how I do that. So thank you very much for watching today's video. I appreciate you for that. If you like what I do, again, subscribe, be a part of the community. Appreciate you. Until next time, see you later. Love you all. Bye.